actors back with us. Please welcome Michael Stuhlbarg. Edebiri. Garfield. Julia Roberts. And Luca Guadagnino.
Good morning. Okay.
You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay. Thank you, and congratulations to you all, and thank you for being our opening night film.
Thank you.
We thought we would start with a conversation starter, so this can be the beginning of that. I thought I would start with Nora, since it did begin with you. Can you tell us about the genesis of the screenplay? Was there a particular inciting spark? I'm wondering if there was an incident, or was it the cultural climate, or what was it you were responding to when you wrote the script?
Sure. Well, thank you so much for having us, and it's wonderful to be here. And thank you guys for staying. I think that for me, I feel like definitely the cultural climate had some bearing. I think probably in a subconscious or unconscious way that later became more conscious. But it really started for me with the character of Alma, played by Julia Roberts. And I was just really fascinated with the notion of a character who has so much external acclaim and who's really projecting this image of themselves outward into the world, and how different that might be from an internal sense of themselves, and what happens when those two things are forced to kind of come together.
Luca, when did you read Nora's script? I'm curious about your initial response to it.
I thought it was brilliant, and I was really sparkled by the dynamism in the script, which is a very about people talking a lot, but still there was some sort of like dimension of engagement with these characters that was very, very compelling and kinetic to me. And I thought that could have been a great opportunity to showcase people that were really flawed, and their biggest flaw was this quest for a power that they need to grasp and have in their hands, and how they eventually have to come to terms with the failure of this ambition they have.
At what point did you think of Julia?
I think it was instant, because I read the script.
Did everyone hear that?
Well, yes, because I was going to LA to shoot something, and I got the script, and then I landed and I spoke to you on the phone, and then I met you like a day or two later. Yeah.
And Julia, I'm curious about your response to the script and this character. I mean,
well, I had read the script and I just thought, wow, what a mountain to climb. And it's just such a Herculean idea. It wasn't until somebody said, oh, and we think Luca Guadagnino is interested. And I was like, oh, wow, yeah, I can do this. Of course I can do this. Luca, I can do this. Have me do this. But really, I felt only equipped in his skilled hands to do a part like this, truly. I couldn't have done it without Luca, and you can clap for him for that.
I'd love to bring the rest of the actors in. I mean, I think one of the great strengths of the film is this ambiguity that is really sustained throughout. And I'm wondering how you worked with that as actors, interpreting these parts. Were you happy in that space of ambiguity? Did you need clarity for certain things? And just wondering, if you can talk a little bit about figuring out these, as Luca said, flawed, but also often quite, opaque and sort of unreadable characters.
I think fascinating to play with what's conscious, what's unconscious, in terms of what's driving these people, what motives are hidden from ourselves. Obviously, I feel like we all feel like we are the heroes of our own stories, and of course, I think there's quite beautiful moments of reckoning, self-reckoning, self-revelation that each of our characters have in this film. And in those moments, it's the kind of horrifying, staring into the abyss of the kind of horrifying mirror that these characters are faced with at certain points. Obviously, for I think that moment is very clear for the character I play in the terrible, horrible scene that I had to shoot with national treasure Julia Roberts. Thank God, and I mean this very sincerely, we did just one take, because it was not in any way, shape or form pleasant. But I think there is a kind of a reckoning that this person who believes himself to be a kind of humanist and a kind of a great professor, a great teacher, and a guy that's trying to open and unlock all of his students, and someone who's daring and trying to get people closer to the edges of their own hearts and the centers of their own hearts, that he's faced with something that he hadn't previously recognized in himself. And yeah, of course, it's really, really fun, I think is the right word, that we get to safely explore the darker regions that we all, each and every one of us, unfortunately, or fortunately, share. That we all have these aspects that we'd rather not admit to.
Right, well, yeah, right, okay. Imagine I'm British. Okay, sorry. No. Not the time nor place. No.
All seem to help.
I don't know what's happening. No, I mean, I think one of the first things that comes to mind for me personally is this rehearsal period that we were able to have in Julia's house. And I think that was like the first stage of really like excavating this text with each other. We all got to be there. Nora was there as well. Like we were all there, just kind of.
Michael was on Broadway.
Michael was on Broadway. Okay.
Tony-nominated performance. He couldn't
Mike was
make it to
busy
my
being nominated
house.
for a Tony. Next to Michael was busy being a genius. We were just getting to excavate this text together, and I feel like there were just early conversations that we were having with each other, and that also that I was having with Luca, where I feel like it was like we were getting permission in a way to like fill in the blanks where we needed to fill them in, and then where there needed to be space and ambiguity, or in moments with each other to maybe find things that are more primal. We just got licensed to do that, and I mean, I feel like in every moment as a human being, like you can be watching me speak, say this sentence, and have a completely different takeaway from the person next to you, So like, just also the base understanding of that truth amongst each other, I think was really supremely helpful, because that's really not always the case in every job, on every set. And so being able to have that license to, I don't know, sometimes like fool each other, fool ourselves, I think was really freeing.
Michael.
Tony Robbins.
Yes, oh, stop it. The word, when you mentioned the word ambiguity, it sort of hit me like a truck. And then listening to all of you discuss it and the idea of it, there is a, it's a wonderful word and very appropriate for this experience, because it's like watching a slow motion train wreck. You don't know that, what's going to happen, but you feel something's coming. And that was kind of the experience, ambiguous, of playing it, is that, there's many layers to this gorgeous text and to these extraordinary performers. And you kind of throw yourself into it after you get as much time as you can to pull out what you think is going to be useful. And then you throw yourself into it and things happen. But being outside of the center of that action, I know something's going on. I don't exactly know what it is, but I'm present and I'm watching it. And I think it's a hard place to be and a wonderful place to play, because you're kind of on tenterhooks the whole time. And you never know what it's going to be. And having Luca throw extraordinary things at us during the process of being in that unsurety gives you moments of direction, and moments of flourishing, and moments of silliness, and moments of depth, and you just ride it. But it's a very appropriate word for the world we were inhabiting.
Turn that question to you as well, Julia, but maybe I can be even blunter about it. I'm just curious, the film is built on conflicting accounts, conflicting perspectives. Was it important to you, as the people who made it, to know what happened?
Yeah, did you hear that? Yeah, that's good stuff. That's what you get when you see a movie that Luca has made, is that like, yeah, that's the good stuff. What's going on with these people? Here's what I love about this film, and I'm just gonna keep calling you Luca Guadagnino for now, is there's a song that plays in this film 7 times. Yeah, 7 times. First of all, who would ever do that? And it's a song about forgiveness. And I think it says so much about these relationships and how Luca asked us to approach them and construct them, and what he asked of us as artists to find and articulate in the characters we were portraying. And I think he knew the heavy lifting for all of us, except for maybe Michael, who thought it was easy. He was asking a lot all the time in this really loving, great way with the accent, so you kind of always say yes, even when it's impossible. But I think that he always felt that this beautiful story that Nora wrote us was about love and forgiveness, and trying to understand who we really are deep inside of ourselves, and why we posture and do the things that we do. And that was this beautiful agenda that we had every day, and it was this magical ride that he took us all on. And I know so often actors, we're paid liars, and then we promote a movie and go, we love each other. We're great friends now, and it's rarely. It's so rarely actually true, but my friend group quadrupled with this experience because it was that hard, and we were deep in it together in this way that was really profound and beautiful and magical, and we did it all for Luca, and Luca does everything for you. And that was the best feeling at the end of every day.
Just to follow on that, I'm wondering if, Luca, you can say a little bit, the actors have alluded to it, but just the atmosphere you created on set. It sounds like it was intense and demanding, but Andrew also just described it as fun. And I think you see that in the film. I mean, there's like these really intense and heavy scenes, but there's also this humor and this lightness and there's this sense of play among the actors. Like, I think there's so many incredible scenes, like Julia and Michael in the kitchen. And there's just a whole series of them where these actors are clearly playing. And I'm just wondering if you can talk about how you created this atmosphere, which I think is so crucial to the tone of the film.
Well, I wanted all my life when I was a kid to become a filmmaker and to be a director and to be in the place where I am now, which is to deal with other artists and to play, to really make castle of sand together and to fantasize and to project and to spend time together. So this movie in particular had that quality. We were together in Shepperton in London, Notting Hill, and we were really having fun in exploring these characters, their entanglements, this darkness, and I think Nora served as a great script and a great humor in the script, and I love the humor, of course, that is in it. I mean, it's family. To me, making films, it's family, and it helps when then you meet your kindred spirits, as I did here, and you meet again and again. And it was really like, there was a lot of great companionship also behind the camera. I mean, we had great crew, great committed filmmakers doing this movie, and so it was a great experience. And the song that she mentioned is "É Preciso Perdoar" by Anton Carlos Jobim. So find it, or if you don't know it, but it's beautiful.
All right, we are out of time, but I want to thank you all for coming, and thanks and congratulations.